the Lord. And our country, no matter where we are today, and I know today is not where we was, but even today, we're a country that was founded on Christian principles. Today we celebrate the ones who did not come home. And, if you've never served or you've never had a close family member serve, you don't understand the sacrifice and the hardship that's involved. I never will forget, and I just want to share this with you before we get started. Everything means more, and it's different. When I believe I was in 9th grade, and I was at Boonville High School, and we were in a pep rally. And my dad, Dennis, Jimmy Jones, some of our people that we grew up with knew, they were overseas. There for initially Desert Shield initially, and then Desert Storm. And I can remember Dad being gone, and just me and Mom and Jennifer at home. And standing there in that gymnasium and in that pep rally, looking up at the flag as we did the Pledge of Allegiance, as we sang the Star-Spangled Banner, and it was different. Tears rolled down my face. And you say, well, your daddy come home. Yeah, but we didn't know that at the time. At the time, we didn't know if they was coming home or not. At the time, there was I don't know if you know this or not, there was a lot of fear. Around that time, Saddam Hussein had Scud missiles, had chemical warfare, was, lobbing, he wasn't accurate with them, but he was lobbing them over there. He used them on his own people. If he's going to use them on his own people, don't you think he'd use them on ours? And I remember being in that gymnasium, and I remember looking at that flag, and I remember it was different. It looked different. It meant different. And even though I was a kid, it was hard. And when our service people, they go off to protect this country, it's not just about them. They're not the only ones who sacrifice. It's the mom that stays home. It's the kids that are left without a parent for a while. And then, like today, we recognize those who did not get to come back home. I can't imagine what my life would have been like if Dad hadn't come back home. And I just thank God, that he kept his hand of protection over him. And I look back at that time and everything that could have happened. And I thank God. That was a time in our nation's history that one of the many times America turned their face back to the Lord. Everything that could have, all the fear that was there before, God miraculously moved and ministered. It's because, the people turned their hearts to the Lord. And so as we get ready to celebrate Memorial Day today, I wanted to share that with you because, it's easy. We sit here today, and if you've never experienced the sacrifice, you go, why are we doing this? This is just, we should be focused on God. We are focused on God. We're thankful that God is with us, and he never leaves us, and he's ever present, and I'm thankful that he hears our prayers. I truly believe it was because of the prayer of the Christian people that we didn't suffer loss in that war, not like we could have. And so I'm gonna try. I've never sang this song before in public. I'm gonna try to sing this song, and it's something that this song means a lot to me. It meant a whole lot more after my dad went to war. These words speak about the freedoms that we have here today. So I'm going to try to do this, and we'll just see what happens, all right? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed.
According to their works, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. Yes, there is a homecoming for everyone. And something I hadn't thought about, but nobody throw a tomato at me until I finish. You realize that everybody's going to go to heaven? Some of them to the great white throne judgment, and us that are gone in the rapture, going through maybe the tribulation times, we're all going to be there, but we're not all going to stay. Because God has He has a final homecoming for every man, woman, and child that ever lived. It's up to us to choose. We get to choose which one. I got drafted in 1971. They didn't give me no choice. They give you a choice, Brother Darrell, where you're going. But they said, you're going to be in the Army. Other guys, I guess, were put in the Marines, and others maybe in the Navy and the Air Force. And if you wanted to sign up for 4 years, you could go where you wanted to go. Probably get a job that you wanted to have. But God gives us the choice. We have a homecoming. And God is going to give us the choice. Which one will you choose? Which one will you choose? "4 years have been many, my loved ones are gone, and I miss them more every day. I'm ready to move to that heavenly home, and I long for the day I can say, take these rings from my finger, these shoes from my feet. Take all of my worldly possessions and keep. Just leave me my Bible, the thing I must have. It's homecoming in heaven for me. I'll kiss my old mother and hug dear old dad. I know they'll remember their boy. They'll be so happy and I'll be so glad, and my cup runneth over with joy. Take these rings from my fingers, these shoes from my feet. Take all of my worldly possessions and keep. Just leave me my Bible, the thing I must have. It's homecoming in heaven for me. We have to make the choice. We have to make the choice. I stand before God